welcome back to my channel. I know it's been a little while, my camera was broken, but it's finally fixed. So I'm super excited to be talking to you guys about what makes me get motivated and stay motivated, especially after all this time. This is by far the question that I get the most through Instagram, through Snapchat, and I totally understand. It's because yeah, things are exciting when you get started and maybe getting into things, you can stay on track for a little while, but after a period of time goes by, it's hard to wanna be consistent and keep pushing and keep going. So I'm gonna today talk about the 3 big things that keep me motivated and going. And then also I'm gonna get into the tips and tricks that I use and that you can use to really get yourself to do it when you really don't wanna do it. Because there's always gonna be those days. There's just going to be. So the first thing when it comes to working out, and you're gonna think this is so cliched and you're gonna roll your eyes and I don't care, is I love it. Like I genuinely love working out. I love the feeling during it, not every second, but for the most part, it's a huge, like I get a huge sense of accomplishment from it. And I love the feeling when I'm done, because I feel like such a boss. Like I feel so proud, I'm high on endorphins, and I know that I did something good for myself. So if you're at a place right now where working out is still something new to you, and it's not something that you enjoy while you're doing it, and like you don't wanna be there, you'd rather be doing something else, chilling watching Netflix, like no judgment, that's fine. That was me before too. Then it's good to focus on how you're gonna feel after. Because I guarantee after that workout, you're gonna feel so proud and you're gonna leave that gym, even if you didn't love the time while you were in there, and you're gonna feel just like so pumped that you push yourself through it, you did what you came to do, and it's done. Even if you're just excited about the fact that it's done and you're that much closer to where you wanna be. But the thing is, and this just goes along with that point, is I would say you need to find exercise that you do like. Like not everyone is gonna love going into a gym, doing strength training, doing HIIT cardio, doing circuits. Like that might not be for you. Or there might be an aspect of that you like. So play around with it for a while and try different things. Just because something works for your friends and they love it, or I train in a specific way and I say that I love it, that might not be the right kind of training for you. So I would say, especially if you're new and you're getting into things and you're finding that you're just really, really disliking it while you're in there, I mean, there's always gonna be a little bit of struggle and it's not always gonna be fun, but if you're really hating it, start trying different stuff, because there's no reason that you need to feel boxed into doing something just because it's the trend or it's what other people are doing. So yeah, I would say my first thing that really motivates me and has kept me going after all this time is loving it. And even when I don't love it, loving how it feels after. The second thing, and I did write this down all before because this is a nice long list, is my progress. So I take it in progress in 2 major categories. The first one is what I'm able to do. When I'm able to notice the difference in how I can perform now versus how I could perform before, it is such an accomplishing feeling. Like, I don't know if there's much more of an accomplishing feeling than that. This is a really big one, so I'm gonna talk about it. It's something I'm proud of, is I, just like most of you watching, at some point couldn't do one proper push-up from my toes. I actually remember when I got my first one, and it felt amazing. Like it felt so good. I was actually at the St. Vital YMCA, and I was in the little like aerobics room that they have. And I remember when I got it, and I looked around to see if anybody saw, and like no one was in there, no one saw. But it was just such a good feeling because I've been working on it for so long. And now, so tomorrow's actually my 24th birthday. I made a goal a few weeks ago of beating my maximum number of push-ups from my toes, and I wanted to hit 50, and I did it. And so being able to look back and think about when I wasn't ever able to do a single push-up to now when like, yeah, it hurts, but I can push out 50 in a row, that feels really good. And yeah, it's just a reason to keep going and keep improving. And progress comes in all ways, shapes, and forms. It can be things that have to do with strength. It can be things that have to do with speed, agility, balance, anything. One thing when it comes to progress though, especially in terms of your performance, is I would always say, check your benchmarks. I'm creating a program right now called the Fit Girl Gang, and there's a ton of benchmarking in it, which basically means we do testing on where your like push-ups are at, where your pull-ups are at, where your squats are at, things like that, just so that you can have something to compare it against, so that as you keep working into the future, you can look back and really compare. So that's like huge when it comes to fitness performance. The other side of that is body composition. And so of course, like I'm just like anybody else, I love it. Like, yeah, to me, training isn't just for the way that I look, but it does feel really great to be able to have a certain goal, whether that be get a little leaner or put on a little bit more lean muscle tissue in certain areas, and be able to see the changes that occur in my body over time. And especially when it comes to things like growing my glutes, for instance, or my hamstrings. Actually, for me, it's my hamstrings, because I used to have no hamstrings. Like, I don't have a body part that I'm more proud of than my hamstrings, because I feel like I built them from scratch. And so I know that getting into the gym and being consistent with the effort that I'm putting in is gonna be the only way that I'm able to make those physical changes that I wanna make. And I always talk about not putting too much emphasis on physical progress, because that's not the end all be all, but it definitely is motivating to be able to see your results and the changes you've made in any way. So I'd say that's the big second thing that's now kept me going. Like, here's the thing, guys, I've definitely struggled and I've had my ups and my downs. You heard all of my fitness journey. But the one thing that did remain consistent for me was once I got into the habit about 5.5 years ago of training on a regular basis, despite how effective that training may have been or may not have been at my education level at that time, once I got into it, that's something that I've been able to maintain. And even when my diet and nutrition has kind of gone in different waves, I have been able to really stay on track with training because of how I'm able to motivate myself. So that's why I'm really hoping that this is helpful to you guys too. The final thing is, I think of training as it's just a whole mindset switch, I think. I used to think of training as something that I had to do in sort of a guilt way, right? I would guilt myself into thinking ugh, I have to go to the gym because I ate this, or because I want to look good for this, or because, I don't know, just my other people are going to the gym, so I feel like I have to go to the gym. Whereas now, I shifted the whole mindset, and it took a while, into going to train my body is something that I deserve. So I use training personally as a reward. I work from home. Actually, this is really great timing, because I'm about to go work out after this, which is why I have no makeup on and everything, and I've been working from home all day. But to me, I use training as a reward because it's my time for me. It's a selfish time, if you want to think about it like that, where you get to focus on you and your goals and clearing your head and nothing else. So if you can think of it as you deserve that time for yourself, and you deserve that time to work on improving yourself in all of these different ways and getting stronger and faster and healthier and leaner, any of those things, it kind of shifts oh, I have to go do this, to, oh, I get the privilege of either working out in my house or in the beautiful outdoors or in a gym or with a certain group of people, with a fitness group or a trainer. Do you know what I mean? You kind of just have I just really have made that conscious effort, because to me, it is what gives me sanity. And I know that that's probably because, like I said before, it's something I love and I've been doing for a long time, but it is really that time where I get to just focus on me. It's not focusing on work, it's not focusing on clients or on friends or family members. It is that time that I deserve to get to just push everything else out and just focus on that. Yeah, I don't know. I guess those are my 3 main things that I've found have really kept me going these last 5 years consistently. And guys, there's always gonna be those times that you don't wanna do it, and you're not always gonna be 100% on, but I would say if you can keep those 3 factors in mind for the most part, it's gonna be a lot easier to remember why you're doing it and why it's important to you, and you deserve to be there working toward your goals. So now I'm gonna get into my little list of tips and tricks. This is stuff that I use all the time, and kind of mindsets I get into. Don't make fun of me or make fun of me, I don't care. At least you're watching this and I hope some of it's helpful. So, okay, the first thing is go in with a plan. And it's because when you go in aimlessly wandering around and you don't know what you're gonna do, that's not motivating for anyone. Oh, how many times have you gone to the gym? Okay, and you said, I don't know what I'm gonna do. So you get on the elliptical, and you go on the elliptical for a little bit, and you're okay, maybe I should do some weights because hashtag toned, lean, fit. So then you go, I'm just making fun of people right now, but this has been all of us at some point, right? And then you go grab some weights, and then you do some upper body, and you're ooh, but hashtag hump day, wanna work on the booty, and then you're let's do some squats. And it's just so all over the place, and you don't end up feeling as though you're really progressing or working on anything specific or knowing if you're getting closer to your goals in any way, it's just not motivating to be in there like that. So I would say with that, go in with a plan. It can be a fitness plan that you got online, one that you get from a trainer. Like there's free stuff, there's stuff on YouTube. Like it's endless now where you can find plans from. So I feel like that's not really difficult. Make sure that it's one that's in line with your goals. I've talked about that actually in my Q&A video. I talked a lot more about that if you want to go check it out. Yeah, so go in with a plan or go see a trainer if you can afford it, or go to a group fitness class that you've heard good things about and you know is effective, and like will be able, like that trainer will have the education to program a specific plan for you. That's number one. Number two is be your own hype man. And I mean that so seriously. I don't care how lame it sounds. You need to get yourself so hyped up and so excited. Me in the car on the way to the gym is the most mortifying thing that anyone will ever see. Actually, my roommate texted me the other day, and I guess because like she was going to work and I was going to the gym, and she passed me in her car and she goes, lol, 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 Joe, just saw you in the car. Are you going to the gym? And it's because when I go to the gym, like I personally like, yeah, I'm looking forward to it, I'm excited to it, but like I want to get hyped up and excited to make it that much better to work out. So I can tell you that for me personally, Drake is usually blasting the entire way there. I'm in a good mood, I'm thinking about what a good workout it's gonna be, and I'm getting myself excited to be there before. Like, I used to go to the gym, because I obviously, like when I was in university full time, I would kind of just like go after class, and there's nothing wrong with that, but I can remember certain times, especially when I was first starting to get into it, that I'd go with like a really negative mood. I'd be like super down after a long lecture, I'd be sleepy, I'd be out of it, and I'd just be like in a negative headspace. Going back to the whole like I have to do this thing, right? So even if you say you are going after class or you're going after a long day, because like for me, I usually force myself to work all day and then allow myself to go to the gym. Use your time, your walking time there, your driving time there to get yourself excited about it. It could be listening to a podcast that hypes you up, any kind of music you like. Sometimes I'll go as far if I really need it. When I park my car in the parking lot of the gym, I will literally take out my headphones that I'm gonna use to work out anyways, put them in my ears, put on a song, and walk into the gym from my car with a song that really gets me going playing, because it makes that big of a difference. So that's number two. Number three is, okay, sometimes you have to understand that I train so many women, so I know that this isn't just me. I can back it up with all of them because they say it all the time, is sometimes when you feel like you look good, it just makes the training that much better. I don't mean like go buy brand new everything and like walk around like you're the absolute shit. Like this isn't about like trying to be cocky or anything like that. But like most of us have experienced the feeling of like buying a brand new pair of Lulus and putting them on and going to the gym and just being like, oh my God, I am crushing this workout. I think it's the tights. And again, I'm not wearing them right now because I'm doing my laundry and I'm wearing shorts, it's weird. But I just got a new pair of Lulus. Actually, they were from a Lululemon outlet, so they're like an older style, I don't care. But I just feel like all week when I've worn them, I've just been like, yes, like everything is firing. I'm pushing those extra few reps. Like it sometimes does add that little bit of extra motivation, and you can also use it as a reward for yourself, right? So say for a month, your goal is to hit 4 workouts every week for that entire month. Well, if you do it, which hopefully you're writing it down in your planner, like that you're getting your workouts when they're gonna be, if you accomplish it that month, then maybe you get to go buy yourself a new pair of Adidas or Lulu or whatever it is. But like using little rewards for yourself definitely does help, and it helps you feel good while you're in the gym. Okay, next, call a friend or do a group session. This is especially for me when I really don't want to do it. As much as usually the gym's me time, and usually it's like my time to like be on my own and just be away from people. If I'm not feeling it, I will definitely call a friend. It helps so much too. This is kind of on a side tangent, but to have people in your life that understand your goals and have similar lifestyle, like a similar lifestyle to you, or kind of are on the same page with wanting to better themselves. I'm not saying that every person in your life necessarily has to like be like #FitFam, let's go. I don't even know. But at least having that one friend who supports you, is trying to like also work on increasing their fitness and pay more attention to what they're eating, things like that. So if you don't have any friends like that, which we don't all, that's okay. I totally get what that's like. Sometimes that just means going to a group class. So lately I've been really into spin for my cardio. Part of it's because yes, a couple of my really good friends go with me, but another part of it is I don't always want to go push myself through cardio by myself. It's kind of mentally tough to force yourself to keep going and keep pushing and giving it everything you have. When you're sweaty and you're tired, and cardio is exhausting. So I love doing it. Lately I've been doing about 3 spin classes a week because I love being in that environment where they hype you up for you. Like they get you going, and once you're in that room, you know you're gonna push. You know you're gonna get in the workout because it's a group of people who all have that same goal, are all there for a reason, and are all working in it together. So if you're not feeling it that day, sometimes either, calling a friend to come with you because then they're gonna push you, and say to them, say like, hey, I'm really not feeling it. Can you push me a little extra today because I just need it? Or going to a class because someone there is gonna push you, or the group is gonna push you. That makes a really big difference too. Okay, 2 more. I would say, don't be afraid to change it up. So if you go to the gym, and we'll use cardio as another example. Say you have cardio and core, and you have 30 minutes of HIIT interval training, okay? HIIT interval training, what's wrong with me? HIIT means high intensity interval training. And core, 15 minutes of core, and you get there and you get on the treadmill and you're just like, fuck this. I don't wanna do this at all. Then what's better? Forcing yourself to kinda do it and run a little bit, but be miserable the whole time, or changing it up. Maybe you get there and you realize that that's not what you wanna do that day. It's not the end of the world if you stray from the plan and do something else that time. Like, yeah, sure, some trainers might be like, oh no, you have to stick to your plan all the time. This is there for a reason. And yeah, it is. But it's better to be there and be in a good headspace and be doing something you enjoy than forcing yourself through something that you absolutely hate on a day that you're just not feeling it. And I'm not saying change up the go from the plan every time, but yeah, if you're not feeling it and you're just like, you know what, I actually would be really down to like do some squats and like focus on my RDLs and like lunges and do a really solid lower body workout. Well, then so what if you're not getting in your typical cardio? Like, add some jump squats and shorten your rest times. Like, you're gonna get so much more out of it, and you're gonna feel so much better about it if you're doing something that you don't hate just because you feel like you had to stick to some specific crazy plan. So be flexible with it. And then the last one would be, it's kind of a weird one, but if you're, once again, if you're not feeling it, sometimes setting up in front of a mirror helps. And it's like, that might just be me, but it's because if I'm in front of a mirror, and I usually only step up in front of a mirror if I have like a circuit. So if I'm using things like a bench, a set of dumbbells, a stability ball, and kind of like going through 3 or 4 exercises, usually in like a higher rep, high intensity, full body circuit type of thing, I am a lot less likely to take breaks if I can like see myself there, because I won't want to like look up and be like, oh, I'm just like messing around and like on my phone on Instagram and just like playing around. Like, I feel like if I'm in front of a mirror, I'm watching myself and I better go. It's like I can see what I'm doing, if that makes sense. And another one with that too is sometimes if I find my phone distracting, I will turn it on airplane mode so that I can't look at any social media apps in between rest times. I actually find that guys are a lot worse with this than girls, because a lot of the times guys do heavier sets that really tax their central nervous system. So they do need longer breaks, as opposed to if you're trying to like do something higher up or just to focus on getting your heart rate up. But I find that especially guys, when it should be like a 90-second break, they'll like be on Instagram for 5 minutes. Like, you can say that you're at the gym for 2 hours, but if over 50% of that is just effing around on your phone, it's really not gonna do you any good. So sometimes, yeah, if you're just really finding that you're not focused in that day, airplane mode can be your best friend. That's it, you guys. I would say those are my major things, that like just the little things you can do when you aren't feeling it, because it's just about doing what you can and taking it a day at a time. Not every single workout is gonna be your best workout, and it's important to remember that. But just because it wasn't your best workout doesn't mean it wasn't worth doing, right? Like, it was still a workout, and it was still better than like sitting on your couch feeling sad about the fact that you're not at the gym and just like getting down on yourself for that. Do you know what I mean? So I really hope that was helpful. Thank you guys so much for watching. I'm actually off to the gym right now. And I know you guys will have like seen it by this point, but after tonight, I'm going to film a little full body workout video for you guys. I think it's just gonna be for Instagram though, so that'll be up. And like I said before, let me know what you wanna see more of now that my camera's fixed. The issue before actually was my camera would like shut down after about 90 seconds, and we've just filmed for 21 minutes straight, so it's working. So I'm gonna be trying to get out a lot more content for you. So let me know what you wanna see, and I hope you have a great day. Bye.